We're joined today by men's soccer head coach Steve Babineau with our season review interview. Coach Babineau, just kind of in one broad stroke, just talk about last season, a very successful year, GNAC champions, another NCAA tournament appearance. Just kind of give a statement about your season.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of way to define it when you win a championship, but I guess the best way we would do it is it was a perfect season, and I guess what I mean by that is a lot of things went our way. We were pretty much injury-free all year. Was able to move some guys around. The younger guys coming in made impacts right away. Team chemistry was fantastic. So those things continue to just go our way all year long. The ball tended to bounce our way at certain times, and of course the guys, starting from day one in preseason and putting the work in and all year long and just buying into what we were doing. And I think what also helped and was an advantage to us was, I think, the conference maybe overlooked us a little bit. We struggled the year before, and they maybe didn't think that we'd be in the top tier of the group. And I think we surprised a lot of people, got some new guys in, and really made a statement. It kind of shows all year how hard the guys worked and wanted to achieve that goal that they set back in August.
Now, of course, with the GNAC championship, your second in 3 years, an NCAA tournament appearance was in the books, also the second in 3 years here. What is that like for your team? Of course, the seniors have been to 3 GNAC championship games and 2 NCAA tournament appearances. What is that like for your team? Just kind of go through what the NCAA tournament experience is like.
Yeah, it's a tremendous experience, although we haven't found our way out of the first round just yet. But we try to go through the season, when you think you have a good opportunity to win the conference and get, the at-large automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And, we try to talk to the older guys that have been there before and say, let's just focus on our training today, or let's focus on the next game. But, questions come up. Hey, guys, you were there in 2009. What was it like in the NCAA tournament? And, we have the guys saying they roll the red carpet out for us, and we get a team dinner, and it's an overnight for us, and just the atmosphere being in there with 3 other quality teams in the NCAA tournament, typically nationally ranked, the stage, the atmosphere, being even escorted to our training session back and forth with our NCAA rep, all just a great experience for the guys. I think being the second time we reached it, at least for our older guys that will return, they feel more confident this time that we can compete there, and we did lose to Trinity, but we felt like we were in the match. Maybe a little bit could have gone either way, but they felt like that they walked away knowing that we have a good shot, hopefully at least getting there next year, and then trying to make an impact with the guys we've got coming in.
Yeah, like you said, you haven't gotten out of the hole, but both times you've been there, good showings. 2-0 loss to Wesleyan in 2009 on their home field.
Yeah.
And 1-0 loss last year to Trinity. Obviously both good programs, but certainly nothing to look back on in any negative light. Now you've talked about kind of your team makeup a little bit. Talk about your senior group. This group in 4 years achieved the winningest 4 years in men's soccer program history. Just a tremendous group. Just kind of talk about those seniors.
Yeah, they really led the group this year with their experience in 2008, making it to the GNAC final, obviously winning it in 2009, the off season we had in 2010, and then last year winning it again in 2011. It's an unbelievable career for these men. Zach Hollingshead, Mike Sanfilippo, Jesse West, and Nick Lemieux joined us for 2 years. They led the group both on and off the field. Obviously with their play, we've lost some key guys in certain positions, and then we lost really some guys that maybe saw some time off the bench and kind of helped us out through training, and continued to show the younger guys what it took to compete, even in a GNAC championship game, and to walk away with 3 opportunities to play for a championship, and then 2 championships and 2 NCAA appearances. Pretty successful for that group. We're going to miss them tremendous just for those reasons.
And that group was nearly as successful in the classroom, or as successful. Just a good group of leaders on and off the field that went 46 32-6 for a .590 winning percentage over 4 seasons here at St. Joe's. Now the flip side of that, you talked a little bit about some younger contributors. That sophomore class seems to be really coming through, and of course some contributing freshmen that came in right away. But the sophomore class includes Zach Johnson, Ross Zaleski up front, Kenny Graydon net, and Dan McIntyre on the back line. And then just kind of an opportunity here to talk about some of your returners.
Yeah, I think I finally realized how young we were. I guess maybe after the first week of the season, you put out the the preseason kind of not a review, but we got 17. I think it was 17 underclassmen in this group, and those sophomores, you've seen them as a freshman, obviously, and that's a tough transition from high school to college, and you kind of really never know what you're going to get when they return, other than the fact that you know that they're going to work harder because they've had that 1 year experience. And that sophomore group, Kenny and Ross coming back and doing the work in the off season, and just competed every single time we went out. Zach Johnson, was a transfer for us, and he came in and contributed right away. Like, this group has got a lot of potential because they're so young. But we got to make sure that we're taking care of our own business here in the off season, and making sure that we start from scratch again on day 1 in August.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Zach Johnson a little further, breaking the single season goals record here at St. Joe's with 17 in his first season. He really came on strong kind of midway through the season and finished out very well. Knowing Zach was a good player, local guy from Westbrook, having seen him play over the years, did you ever think that he would score 17 goals, break the single season goals record coming
Well, I had an idea because it was almost a year ago, last summer, when Zach Johnson kind of showed up on our doorstep, and we had talked a couple times, but finally got him in the office and I sat him down, and I knew of him because he was local in Westbrook, so I'd seen him play when he was much younger, but he took the years or two to get to us, so I kind of not forgot, but just needed a good reminder. And he came in and I said, "What do you do, Zach?" And he said, "I score goals, coach." And sure enough, it's funny sometimes what players say, but he kind of put the play where his talk was, and it was a great achievement, and I never once heard him talk about it. I never once heard any of the other guys talk about it, and I think that was a big key to our success, is we had a key guy scoring goals for us, with a bunch of guys that were contributing, and if it wasn't him, somebody else was doing it anyways, and it never got too big for him, and it was always a team effort, and even now, it's a great achievement for him as an individual, and I'm sure he's going to draw more attention next year, but we'll be ready for that as well.
And of course, he also, 8 of those goals were game-winning goals, the most winners in a season, so he had a knack for the dramatic as well.
Yeah, I think that's half the battle sometimes, is just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, so. And, looking at Zach, certainly a good athlete and a good player, but you wouldn't guess that he was what he is.
Yeah.
He just has that knack for being there and has a nose for the net.
Yeah.
Returning players also include a crop of captains and seniors this coming year. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, we have our senior Jack Lafreniere, who's been here with me now for the 4 years. So, he has grown so much, and he came in and made an impact right away in 2009, the championship, and was a huge reason why we won that championship in regards to scoring goals, along with Dougie. But made some changes with him, and he's been great in the sense that he's kind of shown everybody that once you come into a college program, just because you're put specifically maybe somewhere in the field or whatnot, that can change. And you just work harder at it. He went up front, he's outside, he now plays in the back for us. Who knows where he's going to be this year for us? We haven't kind of sorted that out. But he's been open to it, and he's grown so much as a soccer player on the field and off the field as well, that that's a big leadership thing that I see out of him. We'll have Alex Day as a second-year player with us, who's going to be a senior, who contributed last year for us, that we're going to lean on a little bit as a forward again, who got more time towards the end of the year. And the junior class, made up of our 3 captains right now, And those guys are really kind of taking that role on and showing, you know, even the freshmen of this year that this is not going to be easy, and, you know, we're going to have to work even harder just to try and compete.
Now, that's right. This is your 4th year coming up, and this will be your first class, like your first 4-year group.
Correct.
Talk about what that means to you. That's always a little bit, it's different. It's special because you've been with these guys all 4 years.
It is. It is. You know, obviously, when I came in 2009, I inherited a very, very good group of guys that could play. And you know, I think at the time there were 4 freshmen that came in, and from that time we have 1 left. And you know, that says a lot about Jack in regards to, you know, him buying into what I thought needed to happen in regards to continuing to move the program in the right direction in regards to, you know, winning conference championships and NCAA tournament appearances. And you know, it's special to see that he's kind of stuck with this whole thing, which is great. Actually, you know, the junior class will be my first recruiting class, the guys I recruited.
Right.
So, you know, Jack was kind of here the 2 days before I was hired, but you know, I consider him to be one of my guys because he easily could have gone somewhere else, and he kind of stuck with us. And you know, obviously Alex Day too, coming in and, you know, halfway through from community college has been nice too. So
right. Now, Coach, just the second coach here in athletics history at St. Joe's to win 2 conference crowns in their first 3 years, joining women's basketball coach Mike McDevitt. You've taken this program, I know you say you inherited a great class, and it was a good group that year in 2009, but you've been through some ups and downs, and the program is certainly going the way that everybody hopes that it's going. Talk about where the program is at right now, and where you expect it to be going forward with maybe recruiting efforts and things like that.
yeah, you know, I like to think that the programs continue to go up. I mean, when you take on a head coaching role, at least in my opinion, is you never sit down and think, okay, I want to win X amount of championships, I want to do this and I want to do that. You know, my attitude was when I came in here was, you know, obviously I knew that the guys were going to want to win championships because, you know, I think that that's why they go out there and they play. And I just wanted to make sure that I was in a position to help them do that. And that's kind of the attitude that I have. And that's kind of how I run the program, is I'm here to support them in any way that I can. I'm going to do my best at bringing in as good, if not better, players every single year, because I think that's how you continue to build the program to get better and better. And I feel strongly about this year's recruiting class. Again, going back to, you know, 2009, I think the way to sum up that one was, you know, I didn't screw it up. You know, it was an older group, and you know, they could play, and working with those guys and helping them achieve that goal, you know, one step further than they did in 2008 was a special experience, being the first time here, and
right.
The off season, and then, you know, last year doing it again. You know, I never really, I guess, think about it other than, you know, the credit's due to the guys. I mean, because they're buying into what we think can help them be successful, either, you know, in game plans or training sessions, or even in our recruiting, bringing in guys. And you know, everything's just kind of gone our way so far. So we'll continue to try and bring in players that's going to help this program, and see if we can't make a further run in the NCAA tournament. But you know, if we don't compete in our conference championship, then we're not going to even get there. So it
Right.
takes some work.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks a lot for your time. Congratulations on an exceptional season, and your season's coming up here real quick. So good luck this year, and thanks again.
Thank you.